Hey there viewers, we're all just a bunch of footy fans having some footy fun here on FootyFin. Going to jump straight in for my tips for round 4. Do you like the new improved graphic there with the shadow behind the T? Yes, look out for more shadows coming soon. Just going to do that as a bit of a tester. I'll tell you later. Now listen, going to jump straight in to the tips here. Friday night game, we've got the rematch of last year's grand final, the Parramatta Eels up against the Panthers. Look, not too much thought has to go into this one, I'm afraid to say. The Panthers are my tip here. Para a none from 3 this year. Sadly, appear to be in quite the form slump at the moment. Sad day for Eels fans, but I'm tipping the Panthers there. Now, moving on to the Friday night games. Just give me a moment here. I will. Firstly, the early game, the Storm v the Tigers. Again, the Storm hosting the Tigers down in Melbourne. I'm going with the Storm on this one. The Tigers pretty toothless at the moment, sadly. Also, none from 3 sharing the bottom of the table with the Eels. Storm to win there in Melbourne. Now, Friday night, the Battle of Brisbane, the much anticipated first ever local derby between the Broncos, who are galloping hot to trot, and the Dolphins, who are riding a wave of euphoria with 3 wins from 3 in this inaugural season. Look, this matchup warrants a whole video in itself, and you just might get that tomorrow night if you're lucky. I'm actually going to be at the game. Can't wait. Look out for some live crosses or perhaps delayed telecasts or both. Sadly, for the Dolphins, Felice Kafusi is out, controversially suspended for 4 matches for a relatively innocuous, marginally late tackle, which he was already committed to. And sadly, that's enough for me to tip the Broncos on this occasion. May be proven wrong, but tipping the Broncos there. Saturday's game, another Queensland derby. The Cowboys hosting the Titans up in Townsville. Cowboys coming off the back of a disappointing loss at home to the Warriors. Titans beat the Storm at home on the Gold Coast. I'm going with the Cowboys to bounce back on this one. Let me quickly consult team lists to see if there's any late mail in. James Tarmo makes a return to the Cowboys after some time away. Ruben Cotter's out. That's not going to help. Look, it could be a fairly free-flowing game, but I'm going with the Cowboys on this one. Now, moving on, Saturday. Okay, this one is going to be quite a blockbuster, I would say. The Rabbitohs v the Sea Eagles. Bit of a hard one to tip this one. Rabbitohs coming off the back of a close, disappointing loss to their arch nemesis, the Roosters. Sea Eagles coming off the back of a high-scoring but patchy win over the lowly Eels. Quite a few team changes here, particularly for the Bunnies. Look, this one is pretty hard to pick, I have to say. It could really go either way. Interesting matchup in the 5/8s there. The Master v the Apprentice, Cody Walker v Josh Schuster. Forward pack's pretty evenly matched. I'm going to go with the Bunnies on this one to pip the Sea Eagles there. Not by much. Could be one of the matches of the round. Sunday, early game from New Zealand, Warriors v the Bulldogs. Okay, could be a good contest this one. Bulldogs coming off the back of a win over the Tigers, and Warriors on the back of beating the Cowboys up in Townsville. Quite a few changes for the Warriors. They welcome back Chanti Nickel-Clockstadt and Josh Curran amongst others. A few changes for the Bulldogs too. Look, the Warriors are that kind of unpredictable team where they could win, beat the Cowboys at home in Townsville one week and lose to a team like the Bulldogs at home in New Zealand the following week. But just by virtue of home ground advantage, I'm going with the Warriors on this one. Moving on, the next Sunday game, The Knights v the Raiders in Steel City. Now this one should shape up as a pretty good contest too, and this one's pretty hard to pick. This one plus the Seagulls v the Rabbitohs is up there with hardest to pick one of the round. Raiders welcome back the likes of Josh Papali'i. Sadly, for the Knights, still missing Kalen Ponga. Tyson Frizzell is not on the bench, but one of the so-called reserves. Look, just marginally going with the Raiders on this one. Raiders to beat the Knights. Not by much. Should be a good contest there. Bit of an arm wrestle. And lastly, to round out the weekend, the Dragons v Sharks. Bit of a local derby down there on the southern outskirts of Sydney, around the Shire. Dragons hosting the Sharks, but listen, I'm going with the Sharks on this one. Quick consult of the team sheets, but really, Dragons are in a bit of trouble here. I wouldn't really tip the Dragons to beat anyone except the Tigers at the moment, sorry to say, and maybe in a bit of trouble with at least their coach, Hook Griffin, might be. Look, a few changes, but Nico Hines back in for the Sharks. Still dangerous, young Will Kennedy at fullback. A pretty solid team for the Sharks there, particularly their back line. I'm going with the Sharks on this one. All right, everyone. Listen, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. Looking forward to Friday night, the blockbuster. The Broncos are galloping. They're hot to trot. The Dolphins are riding that wave of euphoria, which may or may not come to an end. The first ever Battle of Brisbane. It's shaping up to be a beauty. I can't wait. I'll see you there. And if you're not there, I'll see you between the sticks and catch you next time.